Hey friends, remotely located Worm here today to talk about an idea that a viewer had on one of my other videos, and he kind of went into detail with it. So shout out to CornXX3 for leaving this long comment. It's on the video we talked an issue that Bungie can't seem to fix. You can go check it out over there. But he had an idea that I've talked about before, but I haven't ever really gone into like depth about it. And that is the idea of map voting in Destiny 2. Of course, one of the big issues why players are leaving games is because the maps are atrocious. Things like Disjunction, things like, Cathedral of Dusk, they don't play very well, or so it feels like, I should say. And that's one of the reasons why, we would like to see map voting. That way we can see, oh, Disjunction, no, like, we're not feeling it. Let's not vote for it. But yeah, map voting essentially would have, potentially 3 different options. You'd have the option to play, whatever random map comes up next. You'd have the option to replay the same map, or you would have the option to pick a completely random map to play on. And I think that this would, be a fantastic option. We'll go into why here in just a second. But the reason why Bungie hasn't done this in the 9 years that Destiny's existed, okay, and probably why they'll honestly never do it. And I hate saying that because it would be so nice. But I think that the reason why they'll never do it is because Bungie is very well aware that there are a lot of maps in the game that players really don't like. And instead of allowing us to vote for them, they say, oh, well, our team worked hard on them. Players should have to play them, even though they play out terribly. And not only do they play out terribly, but it's a detriment to players' experience, because on a map like Disjunction, for example, we talked about people leaving. Then there's only 2 people left. Like the team with only 2 people is not having fun because they're just getting farmed. The team that has, a full team that's just killing the team with 1 or 2 other people isn't having fun because they're having to fight over kills and have to run across the map, and it's not engaging, and it's boils down to the maps, So Bungie should introduce map making, but they won't because I don't know. I guess their devs worked really, really hard to make the maps, and you should be grateful that we worked as hard as we did. As hard as we did to make these maps, because it was so hard to work on Disjunction. Blah 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 blah. I don't want to hear all that. Okay, I want the ability to vote for maps. Okay, I want the ability to vote for maps because number one, it would be great to play. Get 2 maps. I'm not a big fan of either of these maps, but at least I get to pick, the better of the 2. Or, hey, my favorite map is now, available. Like, I want to vote for it. I want to vote for Dead Cliffs. I want to vote for Distant Shore. Like, I want to vote for a map that I really like. Or, oh, man, like, I just had a really good game on Rusted Lands, and I want to play that map again. Like, allow me to vote for that. Or, hey, I hate both of these maps. Let's get a random one in here. And I think that's, not only would adding the ability to vote for maps be, just great to players, but I think that as CornXX3 points out in his comments, it would help them keep track of data on which maps are underperforming. Okay, because right now, like, all they basically have to go off of is players complaining about certain maps. Obviously, I think Bungie knows that Disjunction sucks, because it is, I mean, widely hated. I could count on one finger the percentage of players that actually enjoy, like, sit and like, oh, I just love not Distant Shore, I'm sorry, Disjunction so much, blah, 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 blah. It's not a good map, okay? But there are other maps in the games that really aren't that good, that aren't that fun, like one of the ones I'm thinking of off the top of my head, and I know players may disagree, but I don't care much for Bannerfall, but that would be a map that I pick less in the rotation, unless, there was a map that was worse, like maybe Eternity, because I also don't like Eternity that much. But yeah, the data collection for Bungie, I think, could prove invaluable, because they can say, hey, you know what? Disjunction and Eternity, for example, are the 2 least played maps. Like, they are the 2 least played maps because players are voting for other maps instead of those. And so what that would allow Bungie to do would, okay, let's go in and let's take a look at these maps. They could ask the community, because that's something they haven't done in a long time. Hey, why do you not like this? Why do you not like this map? Well, Disjunction, for example, it's too damn big. Eternity, it's too awkwardly laid out. Or in this game mode right here, the Burnout, it's too imbalanced. Like, if you get the inside spawn, you're set for the game. you know, because you have to go inside, and inside's got all the advantages, blah, 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 like whatever it is. Players would be allowed to, I guess, give their feedback on these maps if Bungie, you know, gave us the ability to vote, and they could see, okay, like, you know, this map's underperforming, let's make it better. You know, let's make it more fun. Let's reduce the size. Let's flip the spawns up a little bit. Let's open another route right through here. That way, you know, players have another opportunity to get out of, you know, their spawn or something like that. But yeah, the main thing is just the player enjoyment. Okay, because here's the thing. Like, I know that we have talked before about new maps and how Destiny has not had new maps, and they rarely get new maps for the Crucible. But to be fair, I think that the majority of Crucible players would enjoy playing on our favorite maps. Maps like Rusted Lands, that's a good one. Distant Shore, that's a good one. You know, maps like these that players love, like I wouldn't mind playing, you know, Rusted Lands, Distant Shore, let's see here, Dead Cliffs, what's another map? Pacifica, and then do the same rotation again. I would not even care if I was playing on those 4 maps, because all 4 of those maps I like and I enjoy. Now, you know, obviously that's opinionated, but you get the idea, right? Anyways, that's it for this video. I mean, I just thought it was a good idea. You know, I wanted to make a specific video directly dedicated to talking about map voting, and hell, who knows? Maybe if it gains enough traction here in the community, Bungie will address it. You know, they'll address, oh, you know, we haven't done matchmaking because of whatever reason. Of course, they're never going to just say we want, you know, our developers to feel good about their creations. Even though I don't know how, as a dev, you could feel good about your creation if it's literally like, even like the biggest streamers and stuff, like they get on there like, oh my god, here we go on disjunction again. But yeah, like I said, we need some sort of system for map voting, because it would make things just feel much better for players. Like, it would make it so that, you know, you play on the least played maps, or the least liked maps less, you play on the favored maps more. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, though, of course, about map voting. Why do you think Bungie has not done it? Do you think that there's a underlying reason that maybe I didn't mention here? Or do you think that, you know, you agree with me and they're just trying to cater to their devs' feelings? Or do you think, or do you know maybe that there is some underlying like technology issue of why they can't, like it's too difficult because of this, that, or the other? Yeah, let me know your thoughts on that. Let me know your thoughts on maps voting, all that stuff. And yeah, that's it for me. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Also, drop a sub for more daily Destiny content, because we have conversations like this all the time. And hey, check out this video on screen here, because for some reason YouTube thinks that you will enjoy this one a lot. So that's it for me, guys. I'll see you later. Bye for now.